Yo, what is going on, YouTube? We are back with another video. In this video, I want to talk about fully committing and attacking, locking in, annihilating, bro, your goals. Because without doing any of that, if you just slowly creep in to trying to get your goals, you're never going to achieve anything. So, back at it with the C4, you know what I'm saying? But in all seriousness, let's get right into the video. Now, when it comes to achieving your goals, you need to understand that there are going to be sacrifices you will have to make. And if you don't think strategically about how you want to achieve these things and the sacrifices you intend to make, then you're not going to achieve the things you set out to achieve. So, first and foremost, understand that internally, you have the power to decide what is, actually important to you. Excuse me. What is it that's actually important to you? Is it more important for you to be perceived in a certain light by people around you, by society, by your friends, your family? Or is it more important that internally you know that you are doing something that you genuinely find interesting and passionate? Because if you care more about the other people and their perception, then it's going to be very challenging to go after the things that you want, especially if you have big dreams. Most people that try to do something that's, out of the norm, people are going to tell you that you have no opportunities or that you shouldn't do the thing. But that's just because they don't see the vision that you have for yourself. So you need to go all in, attack your goals, and do the things that you want. And if it's more important that you care about their perception, then just understand that you're going to live a life that you're going to likely have regret with. So find the goals, find the things that are most important to you. Sometimes taking a chance, taking a risk, going all in on that thing that you think is important enough to you is worth it. Other times it might not be, but you truly don't know until you take the chance. And so I think a lot of people, we spend our time waiting for the right decision, waiting for the people to give us validation to make the right move, rather than just taking the risk, taking the move. Because what's the worst case scenario that happens? That you make a decision that you thought was a good move and it doesn't pan out the way you want. Well, you learn from it, you get experience, you get feedback, you get a lesson. But if you listen to the people around you that are telling you what they think you should do with your life, and they don't have the passion, they don't have the vision that you have, they also don't have the experience and the knowledge around the things that you have, so they're going to perceive it in some sort of light that maybe doesn't relate. And I listened to something recently, I think it was yesterday, that talked about the difference between counsel and advice. And it basically was saying, I'd never heard it put this way, but advice is just like anybody on the street. Like, you could be taking advice from whoever. Counsel is somebody that's actually done things you want to do, giving you insights. And it's up to you to choose if you want to take it. But if you're listening to somebody that has not yet achieved what you want, or has not done anything remotely close, then do you really expect to get the things that you want by listening to what they have to say? Like, for example, if you're looking to start a business and then you're listening to insights of somebody that's never even had a business mindset or wanted to become an entrepreneur, why would you listen to them? Like, in all seriousness, I know it seems cliche, but like, why would you take advice from somebody that has worked their entire life as an employee if you are meant to be and want to be an entrepreneur? Why would you take advice from somebody that has a completely different way of thinking about life? It just doesn't make sense. It would be like the equivalent of you taking advice on how to build muscle from a powerlifter when you're trying to be, more of a bodybuilder type person, right? For those of you guys that aren't aware, bodybuilders, they're training to build hypertrophy, which is the amount of muscle mass they have in their frame and to have a physique, right? Whereas somebody that's a powerlifter is more so just focused on strength. And for those of you guys that are on my channel, you probably know this, but strength is not going to be directly correlated with muscle. So like, just because you're not getting stronger in the gym doesn't mean that you're not looking better, and vice versa. Just because you're looking better doesn't mean that you're the strongest person in the world, right? And so it's like, if you're taking advice from the wrong person, it's not that they have bad advice, but it just might not be correlated to what you want to do with your life. Now, with the same concept in mind, like, if you have a goal of, building muscle, for example, and the people in your circle, whether it be your friends, your family, they are all out of shape, and you ask them, what should I do? Or if they even just start to give you insights and you listen to them, like, hey, slow down and take a day off from the gym. Like, you have to understand that these people don't have the things that you have, and they don't have the things that you want. So it's going to be challenging to say no, but you need to do that. You need to say no to these people, because otherwise you're going to get advice as opposed to getting counsel. And that's probably what I'll title this video, is counsel over advice, right? Because truly anybody can give you advice. A homeless person can give you advice, but if you're looking to become a real estate investor that has 15 properties, for example, it's probably not your best bet to listen to what they have to say, at least in that regard. Now, I am not just saying this, bro. When I was in Miami, Florida, a couple of years ago, I don't think I've ever told anybody this. I met this homeless man. I was out and about by myself in Miami, Florida, my friends, I went back to the Airbnb. I was out there by myself getting breakfast at like 6 in the morning. My friends were still knocked. And I met this homeless man, and he had a lot of insights, a lot of knowledge. He had a lot of wisdom. And so I took what he had, and I thought to myself, like, like, that's interesting. But it wasn't this type of, I think a lot of times we have this judgment on, like, because somebody's a certain way, we're not going to listen to them. I'm not saying that. Like I just mentioned, like, this homeless man that I met was, very insightful when it came to wisdom and some of the other skill sets he had. And, like, just because he didn't have a home doesn't mean that he doesn't provide value to this world. But I think on the contrary to that, if you're a person that's taking advice from that, like, for example, I'm not taking advice from him when it comes to how to make money. Clearly, bro. Nothing against it, but it's just like, you see certain things. Okay, I'm going to ask the person that actually has several properties in their portfolio, right? Like, for example, and it's the same thing with anything. Like, you want to look up to the person, ask the person for the advice that actually has the thing you're after. So if you're looking to get into shape, don't be asking your friends, and don't be listening to your friends that are not in shape, what they would do if they were you, and don't, listen to their, guidance or whatever it might be, because not in a rude way, but they genuinely just don't know the things that you know, and they probably don't have insights. Now, I think you should always be open-minded, always have your ears open, and you never know how things maybe you perceive things differently. Like, people always have a different way of looking at things and a perception, so it's great. But if you're looking to get somewhere, then don't ask people that are not there or have not, gotten ahead of you how to get there. They're not going to give you the best answer. You're better off asking somebody that's actually done the thing. I posted an Instagram reel the other day talking about how a lot of the business professors, they haven't actually started businesses. They're business professors. They teach people the business, but they've never actually started a business. It's like, I get it, right? You understand how it works, but you haven't actually implemented it. So who's to say that what you're teaching is actually going to work, right? Like, I had so many classes in college where it was management, operations, all these things. And on the resumes of these individuals, when you look on their LinkedIn's, like, they've been a professor teaching classes, but they haven't ever operated a business. And it's just strange to me. So I would rather take advice from somebody that's actually running a successful business or multiple, right? Or help other companies, right, get to a position, right? But where I'm going with this video is you need to take advice from the people that have the things you want, and you need to do the complete opposite of from people that don't have what you don't want. Like, don't take their advice. And that doesn't mean don't take any of their advice. Somebody that doesn't have exactly what you want might have some things that you do, and that could be, for example, somebody that doesn't have the health you want might have, some of the wisdom that maybe could come from you, right? Like, for example, some of the most unhealthy people I've met, and I mean that in the nicest way possible, some of the people I know that have some of the worst health habits have had a lot of insights into wisdom or their faith or the Bible. And a lot of that is, I think, them not being super satisfied with where they're at or where they were in life, so they had to uncover that. And that's great. And you learn from things from these people, but you don't want to be taking advice from somebody that doesn't have the things that you want. So, like, if somebody's out of shape, like, you shouldn't be asking them or listening to their advice when it comes to how to get into shape, or them telling you, hey, just take a day off from the gym, eat the junk food, whatever. Like, you're not listening to them in that department. Maybe you can still learn things from them. Like, we all have different brains, and for different reasons. I think that you just want to be selective with who you let in when it comes to acceptance of your counsel, right? So, like, maybe that person that gives you their insight, their advice, it doesn't mean, like, don't listen and shun them, but, like, no, like, maybe they have something to say, but just take it with a grain of salt. And now, if you want to get somewhere, I want to wrap the video on this point. If you want to get somewhere, bro, take advice, take counsel from the people that have the thing you want, and then you'll get the thing. And even if you don't get the thing, you're going to get a lot closer because you're asking the right type of individual. So I hope that helps some of you guys out there. Stay tuned for the next video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Also, check my Instagram out at JStroudFit for more content just like this. This is a late night video, so my energy is not maximized, which is why I have, the C4. Pink or strawberry Starburst never misses. So stay tuned. I'll catch you guys in the next one.